Hey Gemini, welcome back to another reading. I just pulled cards for you about what new possibility is opening in your love life. And honestly, the energy here is really fascinating. There's this sense of transformation happening, like the universe is quietly rearranging things behind the scenes to create space for something genuinely different from what you've experienced before. So I'm looking at the cards right now, and the first one that came through is the Seven of Pentacles. This card is really interesting because it's showing me that you've been in this phase of waiting, of cultivating something over time. You know when you plant seeds and you keep watering them, checking on them, wondering if anything is actually going to grow? That's been your energy in love lately. You've been putting in effort, maybe working on yourself, maybe being more intentional about what you want in a relationship. And there's been this quiet period where you weren't sure if any of it was making a difference. But here's what the Seven of Pentacles is telling me. Your patience is about to pay off in a way you didn't expect. The new possibility opening for you isn't random. It's directly connected to all that internal work you've been doing. You've been shifting your standards, getting clearer about what you actually need versus what you thought you wanted. And that clarity is creating a magnetic pull towards something much more aligned. This card is showing me someone who has learned to value slow growth over instant gratification, and that maturity is what's going to attract this new possibility. It might not feel dramatic or sudden, but when you look back in a few months, you'll realize something significant shifted during this time. The second card is the High Priestess, and this one is giving me chills, because it's speaking to your intuition being at an all-time high right now. Gemini, you're an air sign. You live in your head a lot. You analyze everything, but lately something has been shifting in you. You're starting to trust feelings over logic, and that's huge for you. The High Priestess is telling me that the new possibility in love is going to come through in an unexpected way. Maybe through dreams, through synchronicities, through those moments where you just know something, without being able to explain why. You might meet someone and feel this instant recognition, like you've known them before, or you might suddenly understand something about a current connection that changes everything. This card is really emphasizing that you need to pay attention to what's happening beneath the surface. Not everything is going to make logical sense right now, and that's okay. The universe is communicating with you through subtler channels. You might find yourself drawn to someone who isn't your usual type. Or you might feel pulled in a direction that doesn't fit your 5-year plan, and the High Priestess is saying, trust that. The new possibility is wrapped in mystery right now, and if you try to figure it all out with your mind, you'll miss the magic of it. There's something sacred unfolding, something that connects to your soul level rather than just your personality preferences. Now the third card is the Knight of Swords, and okay, this is where things get interesting because the energy completely shifts here. After all that patience from the Seven of Pentacles and the intuitive knowing from the High Priestess, suddenly we have this burst of movement and communication. The Knight of Swords is telling me that the new possibility involves someone who is very direct, very mental, someone who stimulates your mind in ways you haven't experienced before. This could be someone who challenges you intellectually, who doesn't let you get away with your usual Gemini deflection tactics, who wants to have real conversations about real things. Or if this is about an existing connection, it's showing me a sudden shift in how you both communicate. Maybe there's been a lot of dancing around the truth, and suddenly someone is going to be very straightforward about their feelings or intentions. The Knight of Swords doesn't waste time. This card is showing me quick developments, maybe even surprising declarations or confessions. For some of you, this could manifest as a conversation that happens out of nowhere, that completely changes the trajectory of a relationship. The new possibility here involves speed and clarity. After a period of not knowing where things stand, you're about to get very clear answers very quickly. Moving into the fourth card, we have the Page of Swords, and this is reinforcing that mental connection theme but in a slightly different way. The Page is younger energy, more curious, more exploratory. This is telling me that the new possibility involves approaching love with fresh eyes, with a beginner's mind. Maybe you've been jaded about relationships. Maybe you've been carrying assumptions from past experiences, and the universe is giving you an opportunity to completely reset your perspective. The Page of Swords is like a detective, always asking questions, always wanting to understand things more deeply, and this energy is coming into your love life. You might find yourself genuinely curious about someone in a way you haven't been in a long time. Or you might start asking yourself different questions about what you want from partnership. Instead of asking if someone fits your checklist, you might start asking if they make you want to grow, if they inspire your curiosity, if conversations with them leave you feeling energized rather than drained. This card is also showing me that the new possibility might involve someone younger than you or someone with a very youthful, playful energy. There's something refreshing about this connection, something that makes you feel lighter. The fifth card is the Magician, and honestly, Gemini, this is a powerful card for you to get in this reading. The Magician is card number 2 in the tarot deck, and it's all about manifestation, about having all the tools you need at your disposal to create what you want. This is telling me that you are actively calling in this new possibility through your energy, your thoughts, your actions. You're not just passively waiting for love to happen to you, you're becoming magnetic to it. The Magician has one hand pointing to the sky and one pointing to the earth, showing that you're bringing spiritual desires into physical reality. The new possibility opening for you is something you've been consciously or unconsciously manifesting. Maybe you've been visualizing a certain kind of relationship. Maybe you've been doing inner work to heal old patterns. Maybe you've been affirming your worth. Whatever you've been doing, it's working. This card is also showing me that you have more power in this situation than you realize. You're not at the mercy of fate or timing or someone else's decisions. You're actively co-creating this new chapter. The Magician is also the card of communication and Mercury energy, which is your ruling planet. So there's this sense that you're stepping into your natural power. When you speak your truth, when you're authentic about what you want, when you use your words with intention, you become absolutely irresistible. Card number 6 is the Knight of Cups. And wow! Okay, this is beautiful because after all that mental sword energy, we're now moving into the realm of emotions and romance. The Knight of Cups is the ultimate romantic, the one who shows up with flowers and poetry and genuine feelings. This is telling me that the new possibility involves someone who isn't afraid to be vulnerable, someone who leads with their heart. This could be someone new entering your life who is very emotionally available and expressive, or this could be you stepping into this energy yourself. Gemini, you can be quite detached sometimes, quite intellectual about feelings, but the Knight of Cups is asking you to let yourself feel deeply, to let yourself be swept up in emotion without immediately analyzing it. The new possibility here involves a more romantic, more heartfelt kind of connection than you're used to. This isn't about casual dating or keeping things light. This is about real emotional investment. For some of you, this might feel scary because it requires dropping your guard, but the cards are showing me that this vulnerability is exactly what's needed to let this new possibility fully blossom. The Knight of Cups is also about offers and proposals, so don't be surprised if someone makes a clear gesture toward wanting something more serious with you. The 7th card is the 7 of Cups, and this one is interesting because it's showing me that you have options right now. The new possibility isn't just one thing. It's multiple potential directions your love life could go. The 7 of Cups shows a figure looking at 7 different cups, each containing something different, and some of those things are real, while others are illusions. This is telling me you need to be discerning about what you're choosing. You might have several people interested in you, or several different ways a situation could develop. And it's important that you don't get so caught up in fantasy that you miss what's actually real and available. This card can indicate confusion or being overwhelmed by choices, so the message here is to stay grounded. Use that High Priestess intuition to feel into what's authentic versus what's just shiny and distracting. The new possibility requires you to see clearly through any illusions, whether those are illusions about another person or illusions you've been telling yourself. Some of you might need to stop chasing something that looks perfect on paper, but doesn't actually align with your heart. The real possibility is the one that feels real, even if it's not the most exciting or dramatic option. 8th card is the 10 of Swords, and I know this card can look scary, but hear me out because in this context it's actually really positive. The 10 of Swords represents an ending, a final completion of a painful cycle. This is telling me that the new possibility in love can only fully open because you're finally done with an old pattern. Maybe you've been repeating the same relationship dynamic over and over. Maybe you've been holding on to hope for a situation that was never going to work. Maybe you've been operating from old wounds. Whatever it is, it's over. The 10 of Swords is that moment of surrender where you stop fighting against reality and just accept what is. And paradoxically, that acceptance is what creates space for something new. The new possibility is directly tied to your willingness to let something die. This might be letting go of an ex, letting go of an idea of how you thought your love life should look, letting go of protective mechanisms that no longer serve you. The 10 of Swords says the worst is behind you. You've hit rock bottom in some area of your romantic life, and the only direction from here is up. This card is giving me strong energy that you've learned your lesson. You've extracted the wisdom from the pain, and now you're ready for something completely different. The ninth card is the Fool, and Gemini. This is the new beginning. After the ending of the Ten of Swords, we have the Fool standing at the edge of a cliff, ready to take a leap into the unknown. This is telling me that the new possibility requires courage, requires you to trust even when you can't see the full path ahead. The Fool is card 0, the card of infinite potential, of starting fresh with no baggage from the past. This is you being willing to be vulnerable again, being willing to take a risk on love even though you've been hurt before. The Fool doesn't overthink or overplan. They just move with faith and optimism. The new possibility opening for you has an element of spontaneity to it, an element of adventure. This might manifest as a connection that develops in an unexpected way, maybe while traveling, maybe through a completely random encounter. The Fool is also about authenticity, showing up as your true self without trying to be strategic or play games. When you're willing to be genuinely you, without filters or pretense, that's when this new possibility can fully materialize. This card is ultimately very optimistic and exciting. It's saying that you're at the beginning of a whole new chapter in love. And while you can't control exactly how it unfolds, you can trust that it's going to be an interesting journey. The 10th and final card is the Page of Pentacles, and this grounds everything we've been talking about. After all the mental energy, the emotional offers, the new beginnings, the Page of Pentacles is saying, this new possibility is real and it has long-term potential. The Page of Pentacles is studious, practical, willing to put in the work. This is telling me that whatever is opening for you in love, it's not just a flash in the pan, it's something that can actually build into something stable and lasting. This card shows someone who is serious about creating something tangible, someone who follows through on their words. If this is about a new person, they might be someone who takes things slowly but steadily, someone who proves their interest through consistent action rather than grand gestures. If this is about your own energy, it's showing you approaching love in a more grounded, mature way. You're not just chasing butterflies in chemistry. You're looking at compatibility, at whether someone can actually show up for you in practical ways. The Page of Pentacles is also about learning and growth, so this new possibility might involve learning new relationship skills, learning how to communicate better, learning how to build something real rather than just enjoying the honeymoon phase. This card is incredibly positive for the future of whatever is developing. It says that if you're willing to be patient and do the work, this could grow into something really solid and fulfilling. Okay, Gemini, let me bring all of this together for you. The new possibility opening in your love life is multi-layered, and it's happening on several levels at once. First, you've done the inner work, and that's creating a magnetic shift in what you're attracting. Your intuition is heightened, and you're being guided towards something that aligns with your soul, not just your mind. There's going to be mental stimulation and direct communication that cuts through all the confusion. You're being asked to approach love with fresh eyes and curiosity. You have the power to manifest what you want, and you're stepping into that power now. Romantic, emotionally available energy is coming in, either from someone else or from within yourself. You have choices, and you need to see clearly which one is real. An old painful cycle is completely ending, making space for something new. You're being called to take a leap of faith into a new beginning, and all of this has the potential to build into something stable and long-lasting if you're willing to be patient and consistent. The overall energy here is really about transformation. You're not just attracting a new person or a new situation, you're operating from a completely different level of consciousness in love. That's huge. The new possibility is about you becoming someone who can receive and sustain real love, not just experience temporary highs. I'm curious if any of this resonates with where you are right now. Have you been feeling that shift internally? Have you noticed your standards changing or your intuition getting stronger? Let me know in the comments what's coming through for you. All right, Gemini, that's everything the cards wanted to share with you today. I hope this gave you some clarity and maybe even some excitement about what's unfolding. Trust yourself, trust the process, and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor right now. Sending you so much love on this journey. I'll see you in the next reading.